it's kind of like this dual race, isn't it? And it's almost as the technology within the hardware becomes more capable, then the boundaries of what we can do with the software becomes, we open our eyes even further. And then the demand for the greater hardware becomes more prevalent, and it's this ongoing. So, do you think we'll ever reach a point, Ben, where it's interesting? I think about this, and it's, the applications within field service that we're seeing now, we would probably never have thought about 10 years ago. Certainly not, in the depths of time when I was a service manager myself. I won't age myself by saying how far back that was. I'll just say that the mobile phones we had green screens. And if you had a clamshell phone, that was really fancy. But will we get to a point where that arms race continues, or it'll plateau, or will there always be a new development? Because we're kind of getting I suppose one of the things I'd say on this, sorry, it's a slight adjacent question, but we kind of we've seen lots of form factors coming in and out across rugged, haven't we? And then now we're at a point where we know, right, a rugged tablet belongs in this space, and a laptop is required for this, and these job roles will sit here. And I know that's how you work with a lot of your clients in terms of that advice and that guidance. It's exactly the same way as we work in terms of when we're reviewing units. We're saying, look, this is where it's right. But we've kind of got it down to those three form factors. And I'm wondering whether we're looking more at a period of refinement in the space rather than having to completely reinvent the wheel. We seem to have got to a point where, devices like those in your lineup, seem to be just constantly iterative improvements rather than something that we might have seen, say, 5 years ago, where I remember the rage was the laptop tablet hybrid, which looked fantastic, but quite easily, quite less durable, let's say. I kind of just a thought from the top of my head there, but are we in a point where it's just constant refinement now, and these form factors are starting to get settled?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, look, I think that we're not in a world where one device fits all. Whether it's our existing products today versus what it was just a couple of years ago, and what it may look like a couple of years from now. We're seeing kind of different things driving interest in the different products that we have. For example, we released a product beginning of last year that is called the R8. It's an 8-inch tablet form factor. And so this is a form factor that, look, it's come and it's gone, right? But I think that for many, many years, the challenge with the 8-inch versions of these tablets, rugged tablets from other manufacturers, is they didn't perform very well, right? Like they couldn't handle a latest generation chipset and processor and enough memory and hard drive to make them useful. But today we have a device that's really, really tiny. It's 8 inches, but yet it has the latest chipset and processor and can have lots of memory and hard drive. So it's a very, very capable unit in a very, very tiny package, right? So like that may be an example for you, and where that would fit is it's like can fit in your hand. It can fit in your pocket almost, right? It's not cumbersome, yet it has that computing power, right? That extraordinary computing power in the palm of your hand. And look, we've been talking about that with cell phones for a long time, but this is a full-blown Windows device that has those capabilities, right? On the flip side, we've got notebook computers which aren't going away, right? Sometimes you got to have a keyboard and a screen, and so on the other end of the gamut, we continue to have a notebook with a 15.6-inch screen that's big enough to be able to use out in the field but still be rugged, right? So you really kind of see both extremes here, and I think that over time, we'll continue to see new products and changes kind of to fit, what the technology allows us to do.